Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer 2 Battle Replay. This one is a community cast, and it was sent in by GeneralConfusion. So if you don't know GeneralConfusion, he's another YouTuber. He mainly plays Dominions 5, that's where most of his audience is, but he really enjoys Total War Warhammer, he's been playing some of that, and he doesn't have the audience for that yet, so I recommend you go over and show some love. Because, yeah, good dude, big fan of strategy games, so yeah. Definitely worth checking him out. So, he sent me this replay, which is superb. We were having a conversation the other day, and he basically said, I wonder if Skaven go full ninja. And yeah, he answered that question. They can. Is it viable or not? We'll find out. But here you can see he's got a Warlock Engineer, technically not a ninja. But, we're going to have to zoom in on his spells here. Come on. Do it. You got him. He has Skitter Leap. So, AoE ability, he can hide all of the units in the area of effect. He can give them Stalk and Unspottable for 41 seconds. So here, the only things in his army that can't hide are these Night Runner Slingers. So right now, he's got them hidden in trees. So they are hidden right now, but it's kind of obvious right now because none of any of this can be seen by his opponent. Everything else is stalking. So he's going to assume the army's here, right? And it's only going to be here as long as he, you know, has the Winds of Magic. Or he doesn't have the Winds of Magic. Basically, he's going to use Skitter Leap and then get the hell out of there. So all of his stuff will be hidden. So he's also got some Death Runners here with an Assassin. So very scary. Over here, he has more Death Runners with Gutter Runners, more Death Runners, and some Gutter Runners with Poison. He's also got Tretch. So that's right, Tretch, technically not invisible, but he can make that happen with Stay Here, I'll Get Help. So now everything's invisible. So yeah. I mean, all this stuff was anyway, but now he is. So he's invisible too. Over here, you can see more Gutter Runners and Gutter Runners with Poison. And that's it, really. That's it. Just a load of invisible stuff, or stuff that can go invisible. So everything's invisible. This guy can't see a thing, which is hilarious. And he's gone with the triple Carnosaur build, which is a bit of a classic. So he's got the Saurus Scar Veteran, he's got a Feral Carnosaur, and he's got Saurus Old Blood on a Carnosaur. No Spellcaster, though, which is always a problem. Always going to be a problem against Skaven. You really want some nice things like Wind Blast that can take out an entire, you know, line of, well, Death Runners in one hit, basically. You need stuff like that. So this isn't the most meta build. It's a bit gimmicky with the 3 Carnosaurs, but this is a fun experiment, so I'm going to roll with it, okay? So no need to nitpick about the lack of spells. Obviously, that's a silly idea. But anyway, here you can see he's got Feral Cold ones, he's got Horned ones, he has a Bastillodon, he's got a load of Saurus Warriors with shields, which are actually a real problem for this build, and also some Skinks and Skink Javelins. So, speeding things up. So these guys can be probing in, all this stuff, you can see. He is making a bit of a shape that would assume, yeah, he wants to get in on here with everything. See what I mean? He's getting a nice curve around this. So he knows what's up. So what I'm actually going to do is speed things up a little bit. I don't usually speed things up this early, but I will. I'll make the exception. So things are starting to move in, and I think very soon we're going to see these guys are going to get Skitter Leap and get out of there. Any second now. Anyway, so these guys are actually going to go join with the main force, which I think is a pity. I think it's a bit of a pity. These Death Runners could have absolutely melted these guys. I think that would have been great. But they're not going to just yet. So here we go, Skitter Leap. These guys are now all invisible for how long? Because it's extended duration. It doesn't say how long it lasts. It just says that it's extended, which is annoying. I don't know. Sorry, guys. But anyway, they're going to move out to the other side. So these guys still in the perfect position to, you know, attack this blob, which there's nothing here. There's nothing here, which is very amusing. There's no way he'd know that all this was back here. So anyway, these guys start to open fire on the Skinks. So getting a bit of damage and giving a target away from the main army, which I think is risky. If all of these guys decided to actually just charge this, all the cavalry get on top of them, and the whole army would stay together. But obviously there's a lot of confusion. Well, his name's GeneralConfusion, right? Maybe this is his plan all along. So anyway, here the assassin does get spotted. And the Feral Carnosaur is charging in. So now you can see the Death Runners are going to get on top of the Feral Carnosaur. All these Slingers are going to fire into the Feral Carnosaur that now only has 47 armor thanks to the Death Runners. And these Slingers are the perfect thing to go along with Death Runners. They are fantastic. A lot of people, they'll send in something in the front line. right, along with Death Runners. So their front line does better because the armor's been sundered. But actually, I think Gutter Runners are the best thing to have because they can stay out of the way. All the Death Runners can be there attacking the target. So with their great armor piercing anyway, they can do a lot of damage to this stuff. But it means that nothing is in anything's way. They're not having to share the attacks between them, you know? Everything can reach the target. So look at that. Feral Carnosaur already taken out. Huge amount of damage, and the other dinos are starting to take some damage too. So here the Saurus warriors with shields, I mean, they're great just for charging in. I think the skinks, they need to ignore the javelins and just charge in as well. Over here though, you can see the cavalry had scouted in here, saw nothing, and now they're going for all these slingers, which is definitely a problem. These night runners are no match for all of this stuff. But over here, things are going very well. You can see the Saurus Old Blood is getting very hurt. Trophy heads from the assassin. He's just taking a huge amount of damage. With lower armor and no melee defense, yeah, anything near him is going to do a ton of damage to him. So it's pretty scary. Here you can see the Feral Carnosaur did come back. Rival Hide Talisman has been used on these guys now from the assassin. So more debuffs. They can't fight back. So that's hilarious. But they do have all their armor. There are no Death Runners here. Pulling one unit of Death Runners out, maybe the more injured one in here, just to sunder the armor while you've still got ammo, I think is a good idea. But it looks like everything is pulling back, because none of this stuff wants to sit and fight Saurus Warriors. That is definitely a mistake. So getting into the big dinos, try and shut them down. Over here you can see the Saurus Warriors are getting beaten up, so now he's going to sandwich them. But a lot of ammo has been used on those Saurus Warriors, so not a huge amount of value there. Although, I guess, I don't know, Gutter Runners, they cost, yeah, a bit more than Saurus, so yeah, I wouldn't say that's the best exchange. But you have to get rid of them, and more Saurus Warriors over here, rather than here killing Death Runners. Yeah, it's not ideal. You want the Death Runners to be where the dinos are, and you don't want the Saurus Warriors to be accompanying them. So I guess that's worthwhile. So, in the back you can see all the Skaven are really struggling, but the Warlock Engineer managed to chase off the Skink cohort, so fair enough. And he'll be heading down here at some point, so that's good news. But yeah, things are starting to look a bit iffy. A lot of the Death Runners are getting killed. They do not have a lot of health. They are very flimsy. They have very little armor themselves, so anything half decent, you know, like Saurus Warriors, they will suffer a lot. But they are very good in tandem with other units. So you can see the Gutter Runners here getting a huge amount of work in. But this is where things are a bit, yeah, not ideal. Because a load of the ammunition was wasted over here, and all the Gutter Runners are over here. Look, there's 3 units of Gutter Runners, when they could be over here taking advantage of the armor sundering. Because if we look, nope, he's got full armor. Okay, if we look at this guy, yeah, there we go. Only 70 armor. He's supposed to have 140. Get a few volleys of shurikens on these, you know, on this guy. He's dead. That's what you want to do. You need these guys to be in here taking advantage of all the armor sundering. Because right now, the armor's being sundered of things that you don't really need to sunder the armor of, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, sure, you know, the Lord is in here taking some damage, but this is not very cost effective for the Death Runners at all. Luckily, the Lords and Heroes here are pulling their weight, and with all the debuffs, you know, trophy heads and the like, it's very difficult for the Saurus Old Blood to stay alive here, which is why he's dead. Makes sense. But yeah, these guys need to get in here quickly. Come on, Gutter Runners. Come on, get in here. So that's a very nice move. So Tretch using Verminous Valor, that will help deal with a lot of the Saurus Warriors. It does do some pretty good damage. Excuse me. Here we see the Warlock Engineer, now in range, is able to start using Warp Lightning and all this stuff, which is brilliant. You really want to hit these guys with spells, you don't have to fight them in melee, and you don't have the ammo just to keep throwing shurikens at them when there's still dangerous things like the Saurus Scarvetter and the Bastillodon running around. It's not ideal. So Tretch taking a huge amount of damage now that the Saurus Scar Veteran is combat effective again. I mean, that's a rare thing in this battle. He's just been debuffed so many times. All the big dinosaurs have been debuffed so many times. Death Runner's running back in, but getting intercepted by the Saurus Warriors. So yeah, but it looks like, oh, one has touched him. He's on 47 armor, so he has been sundered, and now some more ammo is now available to be thrown. And that Saurus Scar Veteran is taking a ton of damage. Tretch with his anti-large, the Warlock Engineer helping to fight him, and while the Warlock Engineer is fighting that guy, that Mortis Engine effect is hitting the rest of the units too. So that's pretty great. The Warlock Engineer, he's definitely the thing you want to help whittle down all of these Saurus Warriors. Because yeah, they just won't die very quickly otherwise, and they're going to do too much work to your Death Runners if that's how you want to fight them. Over here though, you can see the Horned ones, they only have 50 armor now, and they are surrounded. There's some ranged attacks coming in, they're just taking a huge amount of damage, and they're getting dragged down horribly. So another Warp Lightning, don't know, okay, I think they were still fighting when he started casting that, but no, they ran away. So Horned ones getting taken out now, almost no ammo, everything's basically run out of ammunition now, but And when you look at how things are going, I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. So, still chasing that Feral Bastillodon, and that's it for the ammunition. Got some extra damage in, I guess. Not a huge amount, though. 140 armor. Now, rubbish. No, you want to halve that. Definitely want to halve that. So, these guys are chasing. So, there is still some ammunition, actually, on these gutter runs with poison, which is very nice. You can slow these guys down and allow more shots into the back of them. And they still have their armor sundered right now. But it looks like they're going to go for the Feral Cold ones, because that's basically all that's left. There is the Saurus Scar Veteran over here. But to me, at this point, it looks like the Lizardman player has sort of given up. He doesn't really seem to be giving orders to anything anymore. Yeah, I think he knows it's over. I think he knows. But anyway, Death Runners, they're coming in. So it's still very injured, but that's enough to give a debuff, you know? You don't need a full unit of Death Runners. Only one needs to hit to sunder the armor. So, there we go. There's his armor sundered. And now these Gutter Runners can run in. Poison on their melee attacks, very useful. So further debuffs for this guy, and he gets dragged down. So, Saurus Warriors are coming back, but they're very injured. Horned ones, yeah, they're still in the fight, just about, but we're going to see any second now. Yep, minus 100 leadership, army losses taken hold, and that is game. So, what did I think of this? I thought it was hilarious. I think it's fantastic. You can go full ninja, for sure. I think it's very difficult, because this kind of army, it really lacks the ability just to take out simple things like Saurus Warriors sort of cost-effectively. Sure, you could do it, but you're not getting a very cost-effective exchange. The big dinosaurs, though, I mean, this was really playing into the Skaven's hands here. Bring all these big, juicy targets. Yeah, they're going to get torn to shreds. I mean, the more armor something has, the more cost-effective fight you're going to have with a load of Death Runners. You know, they're going to sunder more armor if they have more armor to begin with, because their armor sundering isn't armor sundering. It's the Weeping Blades. It's 50%. It's not a flat amount, like most armor sundering abilities. No, it's 50% of their armor. So that's crazy. The more armor they have, the more they lose. So it's pretty great. So yeah, big dinosaurs just got absolute trash can. I mean, look at this. 26 kills for the Lord. I don't think he did any damage to any of the Lords and Heroes. No, that was just... He killed 26 Death Runners. And I think he might have killed some Slingers or something. But yeah, he did nothing. He just got completely annihilated. And that's kind of the power of this build. I think the ranged plus the Death Runners is the perfect combination. I just think that works so well. So many people will have Death Runners with Storm Vermin, for instance. You know, the Storm Vermin, yeah, they can hold the line, they're very sturdy, and they don't have a lot of AP. So you sunder the armor, there's stuff in the front line, and suddenly they're doing more damage. So it's kind of good, but that's expensive. And I think you can do it better with ranged. I just think it works better. I think you can have more things focusing on one target. So you sunder the armor of one unit, you shoot at that unit dies. It's very simple and very quick. I think that's the way to do it. So this is the perfect synergy, which I think is great because they're all Clan Eshin stuff. So there's synergy if you're picking stuff from the same clan, which I think is really good. That's how it should be. So I love to see that. So yeah, a lot of fun. Absolutely a lot of fun. So obviously go check out GeneralConfusion. As you can tell, he's willing to get creative with the game, which is always nice. You know, I try and avoid the meta. I try and bring some random stuff occasionally, but nice thematic army like this is always great to see, so be sure to go check out his channel. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.